Okay, all right. To anyone listening to the sound of my voice, I want to officially welcome you to another episode of my podcast, the Next Generation Orientation Podcast. This podcast is for me to bring in some people that I call the intellectual personalities, some group of young guys, young girls that understand what life is all about, for us to share the laws and principles of life. Because one thing about living, it's all about the laws and the principles. If you understand the laws and principles of life, trust me, you're going to live a happy life and a fulfilling life. So one of the problems I think we're having in our society is some people are ignorant of that knowledge, understanding the laws and principles of life. And that is what this podcast is all about. So if you've not been joining me in this podcast, you've not missed much, but I would love you to pay attention from the episode 1. I just want to have a review of what I've talked about in the last few episodes. So I started by identity on episode 1 with me and Mr. Storm. We talked about identity. So identity, we all know, is the fact of being who you are and understanding your true self by self-realization and awareness of your existence. So one thing is, the reason why I started with identity first is because if you want to get this knowledge, first thing first you have to do is to identify yourself. You have to understand that, okay, fine, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I can do. And this is the reason why God has created me here on earth. Because for every creation, there is always a purpose. So if you have failed to identify yourself on that aspect, you might be confused in life because you wouldn't know what you're doing. So identity is the first step for every person, every human being. Once you have gotten to the stage of, okay, this is time for me to do something meaningful with my life, I think the first thing first is for you to be able to identify yourself. Self-identity is very important. It's very key for you to be able to know what you are supposed to do, where you are going, the purpose God has created you to fulfill here on earth. So self-identity is one of it. Trust me, it's something that you really need to know and understand. So I'm not going to elaborate more on that. So we had a very good conversation on the me and Mr. Storm. We had a very amazing conversation. That was the first episode that we started with. So from there, I moved on to resetting your mindset. Yes, resetting your mindset. The mind is just like getting a clear understanding of what the mind is very important. The mind is just like, I call it like a gig space, a hard disk, or a memory that contains something. I don't know if you understand. And whenever you want to, maybe for example, you have a hard disk or a hard drive that contains something, and what you have been putting in that hard drive is a cartoon movie. Maybe a content creator or whatever you are doing is a cartoon movie. And this time around, okay, now you've identified that, okay, you're not supposed to be in this line of cartoon. You're supposed to switch to maybe documentary or something. Now you need a space. You have to free that space that you have occupied with cartoon so that you can make it available to put in the new content, which is the documentary that you want to start doing. So that is just the work of the mind. So for you to be able to do that, you have to format the hard disk. So that is example of resetting the mindset. So you have to, for you to be able to achieve or get to the next level of your life, you want to understand these things properly. You have to first of all reset your mindset. There's a lot of wrong knowledge in your mind. There's a lot of wrong mentality in your mind. There's a lot of things you think that are right that you've misunderstood. There's a lot of misinterpretation of the principles and laws of life that is in your mind. So for you to get the right knowledge, you have to reset your mindset so that you can be able to have space for the new one to come. So the mind is just like that connection between your spiritual realm and the physical realm. So for you to have that power, first of all, you have to reset it. That is repenting. That is what repenting is all about. Sorry. Repenting is all about changing your mentality, switching from A to B, changing your mentality. You have to be able to do that. If you cannot reset your mindset, trust me, it's going to be difficult for you to get along with life, or for you to get along with the purpose of your life, because the things you think are right for you, you've known all this while, are actually the things that are bringing you back or making you not to living a happy or fulfilling life. I'm not trying to, of course you understand what I'm trying to say is that you need to know these things. You need to know how to reset your mindset. So from that, we moved, me and Olisa. We had a very good conversation about resetting your mindset. It's a very amazing and a good episode. I followed it step by step in a way that is going to be easy for you. You identify yourself first, then you reset your mindset from what you think you've known about yourself and the things you think you've known about life. So you have to reset your mindset. For you to learn new things, you have to unlearn the things that you know, then you learn new things. So the next one we talked about, don't look back. I know a lot of people have been in this situation of you're trying to do something and then you always have to consider looking back. There is a point of consideration in life. Yes, when you want to do something, you go into it, having getting a deep knowledge about the things you want to do. There's a time for that. Yes, I understand. But don't look back. It's just like once you're sure of the things you've known. So that is the reason why I said you have to first of all identify yourself. If you have that self identity, then you can be able to now reset your mindset. Then you know that these things that I've known now, I don't need to look back to follow this path. So don't look back is an episode that we talked, me and Black. We had a very good conversation about that. So in anything that you're about to do, in any new dream that you're about to achieve, as long as you know that you are rightfully equipped, you don't need to look back. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. There's going to be a lot of setback, but trust me, don't look back. Once you have set on that path, I want you to make up your mind that this is the path that I'm going to go to, and this is the path that I'm going to finish. I don't know if you understand. So whatever, if you want to achieve something new and you truly believe in that you want to do, don't look back. Yes, don't look back. So after that, we talked about consistency and perseverance. Wow. This is key. Consistency and perseverance. Yes, because for you to be able to achieve anything in life, you have to give in this amount of consistency, and you have to be always to be ready to persevere, because greatness does not come easily. I don't know if you understand. Greatness, they say that for you to be able, skill is just something that you have repeatedly done over time and you've mastered it. That is skill. So for you to acquire skill, there have to be consistency, because you cannot do something today and tomorrow you do another thing and the next day you do another thing, and you, at the end of the day, you are believing or expecting to have a particular skill on something that you did just the first day. No, it's not done like that. I don't know if you understand. Even success comes by being consistent in something that you've believed in, being consistent in something that you've had knowledge about, being consistent in something that you've visioned, you've imagined in your mind. You have to be consistent in it, and you have to persevere. Just like I said, there's going to be hard times. Nothing good comes easy. I don't know if you understand. Just the first thing you need to do is to make up your mind that this is what I want. This is where I'm going to. Before you make up your mind on that, you have to first of all realize that, okay, this is why God have called me to follow this path. Now, this is my purpose on earth. I've identified my purpose on earth, and I am going to stick to it. It is not going to be easy. You need high level of consistency. I have never seen someone that have achieved greatness without being consistent in that path. You have to be consistent. You have to persevere. That is one of the principles of success. That is one of the rules of success. You cannot break it. There is no two ways about it. Consistency and perseverance, it's key. A lot of young people, they fall short today. They start something, they start something that they don't have a good knowledge about, and at the end of the day, you see them giving up to that. There is no consistency because they don't have a clearer vision of what they're about to do. So that is why I always say that you have to first of all identify yourself first. You have to know yourself, reset your mindset, the things you know before, put a new thing in it, unlearn the things you think you've known. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of bad knowledge you have in your mind that is putting you aside, that is dragging you back. Sometimes you think someone is doing you, nobody's doing you, you are doing yourself because of the things you've put in your mind, because of the wrong information you've had. That is the reason why you are not achieving things in life. Achievement is not by how much you've made. Success is measured by the impact you've created in life. So through the impact, of course, you are going to have whatever you wish for. But Let your mind be on the impact that you are going to create with your purpose, with your vision. So you have to stay consistent. You have to have that mentality of consistency, of persevering. You cannot do that. You cannot achieve that success without having this mentality of consistency and perseverance. So me and Priest, we had a very good conversation. Noel, we talked about consistency and perseverance. It's a very amazing episode. I think you will learn something. You will learn a lot of things when you listen to this episode. So after that, we moved on to the power of the subconscious mind. Yeah. The subconscious mind is just that part of your mind that implements thoughts that is in your mind, that implement those thoughts to reality. That is the power of your subconscious mind. Sometimes your subconscious mind does not know when you are thinking negative and when you are thinking positive. It only knows what you have put in the mind. Just like I said, the hard disk, for instance, if you put porn in the hard disk, your intention might not be to use it for porn, but once you have downloaded porn in the hard disk cannot delete the porn. You are the one that downloaded the porn, so it's going to keep it because you are the one that put it there. But until you have decided that this is not the kind of content I want, you are the one to delete it. So the subconscious mind is there to capture that in which you have placed from your mind. Those things you've put in your mind, the subconscious mind is there to take it and implement it, to bring it to reality. So you have to ask yourself the question, what are those things that you are putting in your mind? There is a mere thought. You can think about something for a while and it's going to pass through. I don't know if you understand. You might just take your mind on more, say this guy is mad. You understand? It's just a thought. The thought just passed through. But keeping that thought in your mind can lead to the implementation of such. So that is why sometimes we bring ourselves failure, because God created the poor and the rich and gave them something in common, vision. So once you have the vision, so the things you think about constantly, that are the things that are going to implement physically in your life. So you have to ask yourself a question: what are the thoughts do I harbor in my mind? That is the power of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind does not know when you are joking. You can say something out of joke, but let it be a joke. Once you started harboring that thought in your mind, the subconscious mind starts taking it. Because why? Because that is what you've thought in your mind. So its duty is to implement that thing that you have pictured in your mind. So that is why it is good for you to know your vision, because your vision are the things that you're going to be constantly thinking about. Your vision are the things that you're going to be constantly imagining. So once you keep imagining them, thinking about them, it's there in your mind. Your subconscious mind take them, carries them to implement them, because this is what you are constantly thinking about. So you have to ask yourself, what are the things I am constantly thinking about? That is the power of the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is something that once you've realized this, you're going to get a kind of power. There is this power you're going to have. You understand that? Maybe everything about, I'm not being religious. I'm just someone. I'm much concerned about our spirituality, because that is one of the key of life. When you understand your spiritual power, your spiritual values, that is when you are going to start harnessing and manifesting a lot of things in your life. So me and Mr. Galazi Chigozi Atuar, we had a very good conversation about the power of the subconscious mind. How you can use that subconscious mind to attract success to yourself and manifest a lot of good things in your life and for living a fulfilling life at the end of the day. So it's a very amazing and lovely episode. I would love you to listen to that episode. It's amazing. You will love it. So moving to that, the next episode we talked about is passion and purpose. Now you've understand all these things. What did you have passion for? I don't know if you understand. So you need to identify what is that you have passion. There is something that you have passion for, you might not be able to identify. So that is why Miles Monroe told us about the difference between a work and a job. A job could be something you don't even have passion for, but you are doing it because you want to get paid so that you can be able to pay your bills and survive. A work is something that you are born to do, something that you have passion for. something that through it you impact life, something that through it you influence people, you impact humanity. That is passion. What is that you have passion for? What can you do? What can you do for free? Then arrange it in a way that you get paid for it. That is passion. People that I have seen that work in their passion, that work with their passion, I have never seen them stressed about work. They don't even because passion can never, your work can never stress you. It is your job that will stress you. Why? Because your job is not something that you are born to do. Your job is something that you are trained to do. But your work is something that you are born to do. It is something that you do to fulfill your purpose on earth. So that is where you grow your passion in. Your passion and your purpose. So what are the purpose for that passion? Are you an actor? A content creator? You have passion for it. To what purpose? Is it, what is that adding to humanity? Are you just doing it because people are doing it? Are you just doing it for the fun of it? If you are doing it, some people are forcing themselves to do these things, they don't have passion for it. I see a lot of people forcing themselves to do a lot of things they don't have passion for. And at the end of the day, you see them grumbling and all that. They don't live a fulfilling life. Why? Because there is no passion for that thing they are doing. So you need to discover what you have passion for. For me, there's a lot of things that I would have done in life, and there's a lot of path I would have followed, of course. There's money there. But I see myself struggling and grumbling to do all those things. There are people that have passion for that same thing that I'm struggling to do. They do it with ease. But I am doing it with grumbling and struggling. Then if you come to my own field, I do it with ease because this is something I have passion for. There's a lot of people doing it grumbling and struggling because they don't have passion for it. They have not identified those things that they have passion for. That is why it's good for you to identify yourself. Self-identity. Once you're able to identify yourself, you're going to see the level of the level of achievement you're going to achieve in life. Why? Because you have passion for this thing. And your purpose is, what is it going to impact to humanity? Because God have never created anything without a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Every leaf has a purpose. Every tree has a purpose. I don't know if you understand. Every living thing has a purpose. Likewise, human beings also. Every human being has a purpose. So you have to identify your purpose on earth so that you can link your passion with that purpose so you can live an effective life. You have lived only when you live effectively. Miles Monroe said a lot of people are living when a lot of people are just living, doing some good things that are not right. You can be doing a lot of good things that are not right, that are not according to your purpose. It takes a lot of knowledge for you to understand this. And those knowledge is something that we are sharing in this episode. So me and Favor Nkem Ogujofo, we had a very good conversation about passion and purpose. It's streaming now in all platforms. You can just listen to this episode. It's very amazing. It's lovely. You will learn a lot of things from it. So moving to that, we had another episode. We talked about anxiety about money. This is another thing. You know, we do something and all we focus on is the money. The money. The money. Money is good. I don't say money is not good. Money is good. But let money not be the end goal. If you put money as the end goal, you are going to take a lot of wrong paths just to get the money. But if the end goal is to be effective, if the end goal is to influence, to impart humanity, trust me, along the line, money will be there for you. I've never seen someone that lived a fulfilling life that is poor. It is not possible. Anxiety about money makes a lot of people, a lot of youths to do things that they are not proud of, to do things that they cannot be proud of, to come out today and say, oh, I do this. That is because of the anxiety. It's out there in the society. It's destroying people. It's destroying our youth. Anxiety about money. Money is lovely. Having money is good. Life is beautiful to have money. But let it not be the end goal. Let it not be your target. Let it not be your focus. If you focus on fulfilling a purpose, money is going to be, every other thing you need will be there. The word of God says so. Seek first the kingdom of God. In the kingdom of God, that is where you identify your purpose. If you seek the kingdom of God, that is where God will reveal to you your vision on earth. So when you are able to know your vision, to know your purpose on earth, God is going to provide every other thing that you need to get to that point for you. And money is one of those things. It will be there for you. So you don't need to fight for it. I don't know if you understand. God has given you a gift. God has given you something special that is going to bring money to your way. All you need to do is to identify that thing. Once you are able to identify that, you're going to see how things turn out and work out in place for you. Trust me. I have made a lot of research about these things, and the people that have talked to me and that have said these things to me, they are successful people, and they can tell you that when they started, the money was not their target, their focus. Their focus was to be able to impact humanity. And at the end of the day, they end up being successful, rich. They can afford whatever they want to afford. But once you keep money as the target, you're going to follow a lot of wrong paths. And you might be thinking that you are doing the right things, but they are not good for you. Or you might be thinking that you are doing the good things that are not right for you. So anxiety about money is something that we need to be conscious about. It's something that we need to know. So me and Mr. Paul Alphabet, and we talked about we had a very good conversation about this topic, anxiety about money. It's lovely, it's amazing. It's a beautiful topic that you will love to listen to. You will learn something about it. So moving on from that, we talked about sexual boundaries. So there's a lot of boundaries. When you are growing up, if you have getting to a stage of achieving purpose in your life, there's going to be a lot of boundaries. Yeah, because my mentor said, whatever you tolerate, you can never change from it. Anything you tolerate in your life, it will be difficult for you to change. So that is the reason why we are not seeing change in our society, because we tolerate a lot in our society. So trust me, if you stop tolerating a lot of things and put boundaries to a lot of things, you are going to definitely see a lot of positive output. You're going to see a lot of effective output. You're going to see a lot of great impact in humanity when we stop tolerating a lot of things. So boundary is something that we need to set. Male and females, we don't understand these sexual boundaries. It's not until you have sex that you've crossed boundaries. There's a lot of things we're not supposed to do. There's other things we're supposed to set boundaries to. I don't know if you understand. For me, as a guy, I said, but there's discussion, there's conversation that I don't have with a female friend. I don't even want to keep female friend if it's not on business purpose, or maybe we've known each other. I don't know if you understand. Like, no, we can know each other fine. We'll greet each other, Hey, what's up? How you doing? Maybe we'll go the same church, or we'll go the same. We do the same thing, or we're in the same field. We can share ideas and all that. But there's a level of things we don't need to talk ourselves to. Why will I be inviting a female friend in my house, maybe for you to come and sleep over, spend the night, when I know that it's going to lead to something? And at the end of the day, I'm telling you, nothing is going to happen, and you believe me and come. Like, I don't know if you understand. I know that, yes, self-control is key. But at the same time, the word of God also tells us that you don't have to fight the devil. You flee from the devil. Fleeing from the devil is actually setting boundaries. You don't have to allow these things to happen. There are the things that lead to those things happening. So you have to come to it and put an end to it. The best way to solve a problem is to get to the root. You have to find out where is the problem coming from. If for example, if there's a tree growing in the back of your backyard, and the branch of the tree is disturbing you, is a problem. If you cut off the branch of the tree, definitely it's going to grow back. But the problem, if you go to the root of the tree, uproot it, the tree is not going to be there again. That problem has been solved. So solving problem from the root is the best way to solve a problem. So self-control, the best way to solve problem of self-control is not for you to try. It's for you to not allow it to happen. So setting boundaries is very key. You're hanging out with a guy, you have to discuss on what aspect are we going out. Maybe after we go out finish, you say, we go out finish, we'll go out. the things we need to talk about those things first before you go out. Come on, girls, ladies, especially them. I know you want to go out, have some fun, give some picture. It actually, I don't know. I'm going to say it in Igbo they call it osa. In osa, out of osa, because of the things you are going to eat or flirt. That is the reason why you have to. So you don't have respect for yourself anymore. Respect is reciprocal. I love me. I one of my greatest principles in life is love and respect. I attract it because I understand it and I give it. So I respect people a lot. So if you respect yourself, you will attract respect. So when you disrespect yourself out of osa, you decided to do the things that you know that are not right, but they are good. Come on. Talk to yourself. Just talk to yourself. Just talk to yourself. So sexual boundaries, it's very key. Not just sexual boundaries. Set all boundaries. Set boundaries. You have to learn to set boundaries. It is very important. Not that you are going to be strict. No. Boundaries is different from being strict. Some people are strict and mean, natural. That is not boundaries. I don't know if you understand. You can come to my house, but there are some things I don't do in my house. I'm not being strict for you not to come to my house, but once you come to my house, these are the boundaries. You can't come to my house and do sad things that I don't do in my house. No, you don't do that. I tell you, that is boundary, that is respect. Even if you are my guy. If you are my guy and you respect me, you wouldn't want to even cross my boundary. You would want to know that, oh, Jiggy doesn't do this, or Jiggy don't do that. So you have to keep to it. That is boundaries. I don't know if you understand. So me and Cynthia Uday, we had a very amazing conversation about sexual touch boundaries. So boundaries is very key. We need to understand boundaries a lot. We need to understand boundaries. Trust me, it is very key. See, if you set boundaries, if you understand boundaries, you're going to have best relationship ever, because it's going to give you respect and you're going to have respect, because everybody knows, people knows, okay, this guy, this guy is disciplined. This guy is principled because of the boundaries. I don't do some kind of things. So when you come to my space, please respect that fact. I wouldn't want to, as a girl, I know that, of course, we are like going out, having drink, going out and all that, asking you to come to my place, Netflix and chill. Might actually want to I wouldn't want to test my self-control. So I don't even want to invite you initially, unless we had a discussion that, oh, come on, we reached that agreement that it is going to happen. That is when you can say otherwise. But apart from that, you don't need to. So that's, by the way, sexual touch boundary. This episode is amazing. I think you need to listen to it. It's lovely. You will definitely enjoy it. So the next episode we talked about is to everything a time. To everything a time. There is time for everything. The word of God said so. There is time to cry. There is time to laugh. There is time to harvest. There is time to there is time to plant. There is time to harvest. There is time to invest. There is time to earn. There is time for everything. So we are trying to jump some certain time, and it's not going to work. Can you imagine? Just like you praying for rain when you know that it's dry season, and you're praying for God, let it rain, oh God. That is not the time. It's not going to happen. When there is time for rain, it's going to rain. I don't know if you understand. So there is time for everything. You cannot plant a seed today. You want to come and harvest it tomorrow. It is not possible. You have to wait for the time for it to germinate and grow and bear fruit. Then you come and harvest. You cannot jump the protocol. You cannot jump the time. There is time for everything. There is time for you to be born. There is time for you to realize yourself, identify your purpose. There is time for you to fulfill a purpose. There is time for you to die. That is fact. So whatever you are doing in life, just know that there is time for everything. Don't be pressured to get to a destination. It's just like you are driving from Abuja to Lagos, and you know that it is 12 hours journey, and you are driving to get to that journey 5 hours. How is it possible? Can you imagine? I don't know if you understand. You have to know this is the time this journey is going to take. Understand that. They move at the normal frequency. Once it's that time, you are going to get there, unless your car is faulty or something happened on the road. That is the time to become stronger also. But the thing I'm going to tell you is that, see, the time for that journey is the time for the journey. You're not going to go lesser. There is no magic. Some people want to get to a destination 5 hours, a 12 hours destination. Some people want to get to it 5 hours. They skip the time. You want to cheat nature? It is not possible. You cheat the time. You end up finding out that there's a lot of things you've skipped along the line, all because you want to jump the time. It is not possible. So to everything a time, there is everything. There is time for everything that you do in life. So just like you people starting business, you want to start a business. You just want to start the business today, and tomorrow, boom, you've made millions. No, it's not possible. There is a process to it. You have to grow gradually. You have to grow. You have to follow the process. If you follow the process, you are going to enjoy the journey. It's an amazing journey. It's a lovely journey. Just enjoy it. Just know that there is a time for it. Put a time frame. Start this business. Okay, in the next 2-3 years, this is where I'm going to get to. This is where this business is going to get to. So that you're not going to put yourself under pressure. So that 6 months time, you won't see someone successful, and you already know that in 6 months, you didn't know yourself. Okay, you're just starting 6 months, and you are seeing someone that have started in 3 years being successful, and you're saying, your business is not moving well. You don't understand the time frame. That person have put in a lot of work, a lot of consistency, a lot of perseverance, a lot of hard work, a lot of diligent work, a lot of things, ideas. The person have put it into that business to work out. You're just starting up and you're thinking it's going to work out like that. No, there is time for everything. You have to know. As a content creator, you have to know there is a time for you to start creating this content, and there's a time for the content to get to where you're going to. It might take 1 year, 2 years. That is why if it's possible like that, that means you can just start a YouTube channel today, and tomorrow the YouTube channel will get monetized and they start paying you without you putting work. Do you see how it works? YouTube have to allow you to get to a particular subscribers, allow you to get to a particular watch time. It is a process. Then once you get there, you will start enjoying the worth of your content, the value of your content. You have to wait for the time to come. But while waiting for the time to come, what are you doing? As long as you are doing what you have to do, don't worry. The time will come. I've never seen someone that puts in so much in anything he or she does without reaping it, unless you don't know what you're doing. So, to everything a time, with me and Lubanji, we had a very amazing conversation about to everything a time. So this episode is amazing, it's lovely. It's something that you would love to listen to. You are going to learn a lot of things from it. So I want you to stream now, listen to it, and thank me later. That's by the way. So the next episode we talked about call to influence. Called to influence. Called to influence. This is one of my best topic ever. Call to influence. A lot of people are answering influencers. You could be a celebrity without being influencer. Influencer mean you impacting humanity with something effective. A lot of people come to the twerk in Instagram. They will tell you on social media, they will tell you they are influencers, they are influencing twerking. So how does twerking add to humanity? Tell me the positive impact of twerking. Tell me the effective impact of that you are doing foolishly. And in your mind is that you are an influencer. Or you come advertising a glow skincare product, deceiving our young girls to be applying something on their skin that is going to tarnish their skin in the future, because they want to get the beauty. They think the beauty is all about the skin. People they are getting influenced in the wrong thing, thinking that being beautiful is when you rub a glowing skin, apply makeup, and you glow. That is being beautiful. You are being deceived by something that is not being real. That is foolishness. You seeking for validation. You call yourself influencer. That is not influencing. That is stupidity at the highest level. You are not impacting anything. All you come out on social media is to show us your bum, to show us your upside, to show us what you got. And then you have followers. You get a lot of followers. At the end of the day, you call influencers. Impacting a wrong knowledge to the society. There is nothing effective about you. All because you are a celebrity. You have been known, but you are not influencing. So, call to influence. You have to understand the purpose of influencing, not just to answer influencer. What are you using your channel for? What are you using your platform for? What impact are you creating in humanity? Is it effective? Or are you trying to tell people, as a guy, you influence people, you come to your payment, you smoke or all that? I'm not saying smoking is bad. I don't know if you understand, but when you allow it to control you, that's your business. Anybody you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to ask yourself the question: it could be good thing, but is it the right thing? That is when you know if you are influencing. As a guy, you ball, you go to club, you do your thing. I'm not saying it's bad, but that should be a private life for you, where you have to enjoy your life. You come out on social media, you talk to a lot of young people, you put them in that path. They are not being influenced. They see that as a life that without this they can't do without. They are now being distracted from the purpose, from something you're supposed to be showing them, something that is effective, something that is impactful, something that is knowledgeable, for them to grow in any path they have chosen to follow in life. Now they are following the wrong path, thinking that this is the right path because you've gotten attention, the public attention. So they are looking up to you. They are misleading them. It's a very wrong mentality. Just think about your generation. Anybody you mislead today, definitely that means you're not having a good thought about you. You're not thinking good of your generation, because it definitely is going to come back to your generation. So you have to live rightfully for you to be able to impact the society, to impact humanity, so that your generation could benefit from your impact. Call to influence. So if you're not living a life being influential, you have to ask yourself a question: is what I'm doing, what am I impacting to people? What am I inflection about? That is one of the reasons for purpose. Your purpose should, at the end of the day, influence humanity effectively. So if you are called to influence, ask yourself, what are you influencing? What are you influencing? What are you impacting? It is very key to know these things. So me and Mr. Storm, we had a very good conversation about call to influence. It's a very amazing episode you will love to listen to. So moving forward to that, on the next episode, we talked about fighting to listen. Yeah, fighting to listen. I could be hearing you without listening. Hearing is you able to know that, okay, your ear organ is working. You can hear a sound. Listening is paying attention to what you are hearing. So a lot of people they don't. Fighting to listen is something that is very key in our society. A lot of people think they are listening, they are just hearing, they are not listening. Listening is more to hearing. Listening is paying attention to that you are hearing. You go to church, you hear a message, you are not listening to it because you are not paying attention to that. You are only hearing. I don't know if you understand. When you hear, you listen. That is paying attention. that is when it can impact your life. When you just hear without listening, there is no impact. So fighting to listen is something that most of the people in our society we battle with today. The problem is listening. Some people are not listening, they are just hearing. You just hear the word. You're not paying attention to the word. The word is not impacting anything to your life. You just hear you just get a particular knowledge. You don't pay attention to that knowledge. It is not impacting your life. Fighting to listen. We are having a very difficult times in this our society. We are fighting to listen. There's a lot of things that are coming. We are fighting to listen. There's lots of distraction. We are fighting to listen. Distractions here and there. We are fighting to listen. It's a war in our society. To listen is a very big thing in our society. To listen, we've seen that it's a very big task. I know what I'm saying. I know the process. I know what it took me for me to be able to realize this and get out from that part of just hearing. Because when I started listening, it was a different thing altogether. Before I just hear, and there was no impact. But when I started listening, paying attention to the things I hear, that is when the real knowledge comes. So fighting to listen is something that we need to pay attention to. Pay attention to things that you hear. That is when it can create an impact in your life. For you to be able to use it to bless humanity. Because your purpose, your gift is to bless humanity. It's to create an impact. It's a blessing to humanity. There is something that you are made of specially. You need to listen. You need to pay attention to the things you hear so that you can be able to know what you practice. So fighting to listen, me and Priest again, we had a very good conversation about this episode. Fighting to listen is lovely, is amazing. You will love it. Trust me. It's something that you wouldn't want to miss. So on the next episode, which is the last episode I'm going to review, on the next episode we talked about being balanced. Being balanced. Being balanced. The act of understanding the spiritual part of life, the physical part of life, the psychological part of life, the emotional part of life, the mental part of life. Being balanced. That is what it is. If you understand this thing, if you are being balanced in life, you are going to go extreme far. There is a kind of power you get when you understand these things. Being balanced is just like when it comes to the financial part of it, it's just like you being contented with what you have. You're being balanced. You're okay with what you have. You know the things you need and you know the things you want. Because there's a difference between need and want. We misunderstand these things. Sometimes we overstress ourselves in the things we want without minding the things we need. A lot of people don't know that what we need is shelter, a roof over our head. But some people want it to be a mansion, 12 bedroom mansion, or it is not a bad thing. Some people just want it to be one room and parlor, as long as it's a shelter. All of us are coming. If you own a 12 bedroom mansion, which is not bad, you can only sleep in one room. If you have a family that can go for 12 bedroom mansion, of course, why not? Acquire it so that your family is going to live a comfortable life. But I want you to understand the act of being balanced. Being balanced in life, what are those things you think you need in life? If you've gotten those things, you are balanced, then every other thing comes extra when you put in more. But let those things not be the thing that will get you worried. Word of God says so. You shouldn't worry about the things to eat, where to sleep, or that your God in heaven knows that you need those things. You need them. He knows. But let those things not be what is going to get you worried. I see a lot of people, house get them worried. If I didn't get this house, if I didn't build this house, but they have a roof over their head. But that house that they're looking for, they have not gotten it. So it worried them, forgetting that they have a roof over their head, which is what they need. I see a lot of people stress themselves on more. Now this car I won't buy. If you know be this car, no go buy. They worry, they struggle themselves, but they have a car they drive. They have what they need, which is a car that will take them from one destination to the other. But they are killing themselves over the ones they don't have. They want to get this one by all means. So being balanced is for you to be able to understand these things. Just being balanced. Understand the act of psychology. understand the art of spirituality, understand the act of emotions, understand the act of mental health, understand the act of physical behavior, all those things. That is being balanced. If you're able to understand, have a knowledge about all those things, that is when you being balance of life. You know the good, you know the bad. Because for a scale to be balanced, you have to be in the middle. There have to be something in the middle to balance it. If you carry the load and put in the other side, it will weigh like this. If you carry the load and put in the other side, if you weigh like this. So if you overthink life too much, life no go balance. If you think from the other side too much, it no go balance. But if you understand them, you will now day. And understanding these things is the knowledge, which is what my podcast is talking about. The laws and principles of life, the orientation of life. So me and Ulisa Aturara, we had a very good conversation about being balanced. It's an amazing episode. You wouldn't want to miss it. It's lovely. It's amazing. So this is what my podcast is talking about. I just want to have a review about from episode 1 to episode 12, so you can understand more. And on frequently, I will continue from episode 13 and more. I just want to be having a review about one season, because from episode 1 to 12, from 1 to 12, I see it as a dozen. So a dozen, just like a season for me. So I'm going to be having a review of a dozen from 1 to 12. So the next one I'm going to do from 13 to 24, 12 episode. Then from 24 to 36, 12 episode, for us to have a clearer understanding about what my podcast is all about. My podcast is lovely, it's amazing. You are not going to regret this, because it's something that I took my time, make a very good research, get convinced about this before I started sharing the knowledge. I know the things, I know the research that I made within me. So I'm so much convinced that what I'm telling you and the knowledge we are sharing from this podcast, it's something it's something that I can bank on. It's something that I can count on. It's not a deceitful knowledge. It is what I'm telling you is the reality. This is the laws and the principles of life that you need to understand. That these laws and principles are what makes us. That is the thing that makes us to live a fulfilling life. There is no two ways about it. If you want to live a fulfilling life, you have to understand the laws and principles of life. And for me, my most laws and principles is love and respect. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I really hope you're going to be joining me more on other episodes to come. I'll be bringing in people, knowledgeable people that understand what life is all about, so that they can come and share their experience. It's not every time. It's not going to be all about the celebrities. I would want to have a celebrity here on my podcast, but I'm trying to make you understand that there are a lot of young people out there that are not celebrity, that have this knowledge even more than most of the celebrities. That have that knowledge that are purposeful, that are successful, that are impactful, that are living an effective life. So I'm bringing them in for us to share this knowledge together. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. It's Uncle Jiggy here with you. I would love to see you on the next episode to come. If you are not following me on any of my platform, social media, you have not subscribed to my channel yet on YouTube, on my podcast platforms, please, this is the best way to support me, to encourage me, for me to produce more amazing, lovely content like this. Thank you so much once again, and God bless you. I would love to see you on the next episode.